Boeing spent years losing to Airbus. Production problems, safety scandals, and regulatory nightmares. Then the first quarter of 2026 happened. Here is the comeback nobody saw coming. Boeing's performance in Q1 2026 marks a major shift in the long-running rivalry with Airbus. According to early reports, Boeing delivered around 143 aircraft in the first quarter. Airbus delivered 114 jets in the same period. Boeing slightly surpassed their European rival. This is significant. Airbus has consistently dominated global aircraft deliveries for years, especially after Boeing's struggles with the Boeing 737 MAX crisis, production delays, and regulatory scrutiny. The fact that Boeing is now leading, even if narrowly, signals a potential turning point in market momentum. Bloomberg reported that Boeing beats Airbus in Q1 2026 deliveries. This represents Boeing's strongest quarterly performance in years. The company demonstrated manufacturing stability after extended periods of disruption. Reuters covered that Airbus delivered 114 aircraft in Q1 amid supply issues. The European manufacturer faced ongoing challenges constraining delivery capabilities. A big part of this comeback story is Boeing's production recovery, particularly with its best-selling Boeing 737 program. The company ramped up output across key aircraft lines. The Boeing 737, Boeing 787, and 777 all showed increased production. This demonstrates Boeing's manufacturing system is stabilizing after years of disruptions. At the same time, Airbus is facing ongoing supply chain problems, especially shortages of engines and structural components. These issues have slowed Airbus's delivery pace in early 2026. This contrast is striking. Boeing accelerating while Airbus struggles. This creates the narrative of a power shift in the aviation industry. Understanding why this matters requires examining the recent history. Boeing spent years losing the delivery race decisively. The Boeing 737 MAX crisis beginning in 2019 devastated Boeing's production and reputation. 2 fatal crashes grounded the entire MAX fleet globally. Airlines canceled orders. Deliveries stopped completely for months. Boeing's market position collapsed. Even after the MAX returned to service, problems persisted. Production quality issues emerged repeatedly. The FAA implemented intense oversight. Boeing faced constant scrutiny for manufacturing defects. The Boeing 787 program experienced extended delivery pauses. Quality problems forced production halts. Airlines waiting for Dreamliners faced years of delays. Boeing's credibility suffered tremendously. Throughout this period, Airbus capitalized. The A320neo family dominated narrow-body orders. The A350 captured wide-body market share. Airbus consistently delivered more aircraft than Boeing year after year. Industry observers assumed this dominance would continue indefinitely. Boeing appeared unable to stabilize operations. Airbus seemed unstoppable in the commercial aircraft market. Then, Q1 2026 results changed the narrative. Boeing delivered 143 aircraft. Airbus delivered 114 aircraft. Boeing won the quarter. What enabled this turnaround? Several factors contributed. First, Boeing's Boeing 737 production ramped significantly. The company targeted increasing monthly production rates throughout 2025 and into 2026. These efforts are now showing results. Boeing focused intensely on quality improvements and regulatory compliance. The FAA's enhanced oversight, while burdensome, forced Boeing to implement better manufacturing processes. Supply chain stability improved. Spirit AeroSystems, which manufactures critical fuselage sections, resolved some production issues. Component deliveries became more predictable. Boeing also benefited from strong customer demand. Airlines need aircraft desperately. Travel demand recovered fully from COVID-19. Carriers are expanding fleets aggressively. Boeing's backlog remains substantial. Thousands of aircraft await delivery. As production stabilizes, Boeing can convert backlog into deliveries and revenue. The Boeing 787 program returned to more normal production rhythms. Quality issues that plagued the program are being addressed systematically. Deliveries resumed at healthier rates. Meanwhile, Airbus encountered challenges. Engine shortages affected multiple programs. Pratt and Whitney GTF engines powering A320neo aircraft experienced reliability problems requiring extensive inspections. This grounded aircraft and delayed deliveries. Airlines waiting for new A320neos faced uncertainty. Airbus could not deliver aircraft without functioning engines. Structural component shortages also impacted Airbus. Suppliers struggled meeting demand for various aircraft parts. These bottlenecks slowed final assembly and deliveries. Airbus's supply chain, stretched by high production targets, showed vulnerability. The company pushed suppliers hard to meet ambitious delivery goals. When suppliers encountered problems, the entire system slowed. Boeing's Q1 advantage reflects both Boeing's recovery and Airbus's temporary struggles. This creates complex dynamics. However, the story is not one-sided. Monthly data shows Airbus still outperforming Boeing in specific periods. Reuters reported on Boeing March deliveries and production challenges. The publication noted Boeing faced continued difficulties despite overall quarterly success. March specifically saw Airbus deliver more aircraft than Boeing. This highlights that the competition remains very tight and far from over. One quarter does not determine long-term trends. Aviation is measured in years and decades, not months. Boeing winning Q1 2026 is significant, but not conclusive. What makes this topic compelling is the broader implication. Is Boeing truly back as the global leader? Or is this just a temporary advantage? The answer is complicated. Boeing demonstrated meaningful progress. Production increased, quality improved. Regulatory relationships stabilized. Customer confidence strengthened. These are genuine achievements after years of crisis. Boeing proved it can still execute at high levels when systems align properly. But challenges remain substantial. Boeing must sustain production increases without quality lapses. Any major defect or safety issue would devastate the fragile recovery. Regulatory scrutiny continues intensely. The FAA will not ease oversight soon. Boeing must operate under this heightened scrutiny indefinitely. Financial pressures persist. Boeing invested billions addressing past problems. The company needs consistent deliveries to generate revenue and rebuild financial health. For Airbus, Q1 represents a setback, but not disaster. The company's fundamentals remain strong, order backlog is massive, customer relationships are solid. The A320neo family dominates narrow-body sales. Airbus's challenges are primarily supply chain related. These are solvable problems. Engine production will increase. Component suppliers will catch up. Deliveries will accelerate again. The real question is whether Boeing can maintain momentum. Winning one quarter is notable. Winning consistently over years is what matters. Delivery numbers directly impact revenue. Each aircraft delivered generates immediate payment from airlines. Higher deliveries mean higher revenue and better financial performance. Airline relationships depend partly on delivery reliability. Carriers need aircraft arriving on schedule. Boeing regaining delivery consistency rebuilds trust with customers. Global aviation dominance is measured by market share over time. Boeing winning Q1 2026 improves their position, but Airbus still holds advantages in overall backlog and production capacity. Industry observers will watch Q2 and beyond closely. Can Boeing sustain delivery advantages? Will Airbus resolve supply chain issues and surge ahead again? The competitive dynamic creates tension. Boeing needs to prove this comeback is sustainable. Airbus needs to demonstrate Q1 was an anomaly. For Boeing, this moment is critical. The company spent years in crisis mode. Rebuilding takes time and consistent execution. Q1 2026 provides evidence Boeing is on the right path. But aviation has long memory. Boeing's reputation suffered enormously. Rebuilding trust requires years of flawless performance. One strong quarter helps, but does not complete the recovery. For airlines, Boeing's resurgence provides benefits. Competition between manufacturers keeps prices competitive. It ensures airlines have choices. Boeing's struggles allowed Airbus excessive pricing power. A strong Boeing forces Airbus to compete harder on price and delivery schedules. This benefits airline customers directly. For passengers, manufacturer competition drives innovation. Boeing and Airbus push each other to develop better, more efficient aircraft. This competition produces technological advancement. The Boeing 737 versus A320neo rivalry drove fuel efficiency improvements. The Boeing 787 versus A350 competition advanced composite materials and passenger comfort. Healthy rivalry benefits everyone. So, is this the comeback nobody expected? Partially yes. Few observers predicted Boeing would outdeliver Airbus in early 2026. The momentum shift surprised many. Boeing exceeded expectations, but calling it a full comeback is premature. Boeing made progress. The company is recovering, but the journey is incomplete.